plays out.
That is true. So we're gonna be seeing, because they will be going soon. I'm gonna be switching to the RVGL window. I think the live timing should be set up, although I have one issue with it. At the moment, and I'm gonna be fixing that soon. So the cards are rolling, and Honk, take it as if you can.
Yeah. So one thing about the knockout session is we will be looking from the back a lot of the times. Roddick going to be occupying that back position for the moment, but has got a lot of contenders for it. Passing up Almo as well as Flo. Two top contenders in the league in general, in Division 3. And both of them relegated to the back of the field for the moment. Now it's going to be Tom Dom way back in 10th. Is driving in reverse, continues driving in reverse, hitting. Does escape. Almo quite nearby, but that's going to be a massive gap that Tom Dom forms there.
I mean, it's only 20 meters as it looks. Also, we should be able to turn on the live timing on the stream right now. Let's see how it looks at least. Tom Dom spinning it in oil in the meantime and having to reverse.
Well, it looks like a lot of people got cut up on the ramp, and that is going to work to Tom Dom's advantage. He is keeping Roddick nearby, Inigo nearby as well.
Yeah, and he's now ahead of Inigo. And Inigo is shooting him, but it's not gonna be a hit. These are two South American players. I think their ping to each other is lower than what we have to them. So what you see might not be really what's happening, and Mati is falling back a bit, but Inigo with a big mistake on landing. That's not an easy part of the track, for sure. And losing a bunch of time, but there's a lot of chaos, as mentioned before, in the U-turn area. So Mati is losing some time, almost losing time. Inigo got zapped by Mati, but Inigo is still in 9th, and now Roddick, who also got zapped, falling back. Roddick was in the back for a bit, I believe, but then climbed out of that. Now he's struggling to stay in 9th again.
Roddick has been near the back for a while. He's going to continue to do so. That oil going to trip up Inigo, especially. Roddick caught up on one of those inside pillars, but Tova in the AMW sent back pretty damn far. It looks to be, it's not going to be enough of a gap to call it a 1v1 here, but it's approaching that. 30 meters between Inigo and Maddie, and Tova trying to chase.
Yeah, Tova with the AMW, which is what we mentioned. Actually, the AMWs were running well until now. We haven't really seen them. So we were seeing like Srita Yakas in the back. Now Tova is falling a bit behind. Well, Jeremy is still up in like 4th.
Okay, so possibly something going on with my radar right now. But yeah, it's showing Tova in the back. I'm not sure what's going on.
Tova is in the back.
Yeah, Maddie. Well, I mean, he's showing in 6 on my screen, but apparently he's in the back.
Just look, if you're watching the stream, just look at the top lap, because I still happen to have them right. So the leaderboard is the important part. Tova is in the back of the field.
It's some pretty big numbers to boot between these racers. If Tova can catch Maddie, it looks like he will be able to. There's a group of 3 here that we can kind of look at for a bit. They are caught up. Some oils are being laid, some fakes are being laid. The U-turn section could add some more injury here. Maddie.
Oh, Tova runs into a fake pickup.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be falling even further back. He's now above 100 meters.
We could be seeing the AMW out.
Which is not unexpected. Jerome finishing 4th. Is he still on the AMW? Yes, so that's
Okay.
impressive, honestly.
Huh.
So unfortunately for him, who used to be the lone AMW driver in the 1v1 leagues, is now gonna be not the only AMW driver, but the only one to get eliminated this early.
Yeah, exactly. So we will head over to our lovely wheel.
Gonna be exciting.
Toys in the Hood 1.
Oh, they are having this early. Division 1 had that as the final.
Right.
Gonna be interesting to see. Again, another track with oncoming traffic sections. Very interesting so far regarding that.
It was quite an epic battle, I'm not gonna lie. The final 1v1 on Toys in the Hood 1. It was really fitting. So I mean, of course it would have been almost a statistical impossibility for every finale to end on Toys in the Hood 1, and it would probably get boring anyway, so we are gonna see it get mixed up here on Division 3. We are headed to Toys in the Hood 1 with not 2 players, but 9. 1 AMW, 8 Toyekas, and we'll see who's in the back.
Yeah, AMW has a good top speed, so this shouldn't be a bad track for the car. But also, the Yeka will be able to survive the pickups better, I think. And Toys in the Hood 2 is a wider track than Museum 1. Yeka still faster, claimed by Fam. And yeah, it will be Inigo and TomDom now in the back. A lot of chaos surrounding the players in the back of the field. And now William has fallen behind, but Olmo ahead of him with a bomb. Olmo could slow down and pass it. And he did it. Oh, Flo blows up to the side there. I'm not sure if it was a fake, it looked more like a bomb to me. Trying to maybe catch the ball to not slide off. And oh, there's an oil heading into the tunnel.
TomDom in reverse headed it to the ramp. He is not going to be able to nail that, and he is now in that 9th place position. Flo doing a barrel roll as well, falling back a bit. William actually has a bomb. I was going to comment on his Toyeka skin is all black, and it looks like he has a bomb on him at pretty much any time. So it's an interesting strategical decision, or maybe he just likes that skin. TomDom has emerged into 5th already, and he uses that star, or maybe he had the battery. Wasn't paying attention to who grabbed that star, but very nice driving by TomDom to escape the back. And now it's Jeromu in the AMV, the AMW, and he misses the under the car shortcut. That's another point of contention on this track. So many small shortcuts, but they're also sometimes quite risky.
Yeah, but it's not even halfway through the race yet.
Yes.
Well, for Jeromu, some of the field are heading into the 3rd lap, and he'll be doing that soon too. But the tunnel was really not beneficial for that car, because AMW doesn't handle those kind of surfaces, I'd say. Well, people can see this on Lego tracks as well, and also that was a really weird shockwave, because he was gonna shoot someone in like 2nd or 3rd,
Right.
and there's no way they were gonna fall that far back. And Jeromu again, I think he made a mistake here in the 1v1 session too, and he's not very consistent at the moment. Going for that cut with AMW is honestly very risky. Oh, he's gonna get bounced into the wall by oncoming traffic. But he's only 60 meters back, and it seems like Inigo had some issues in the final turn. Jeromu takes it well. There's 1 lap to go, and 40 meters is not something that's impossible to overcome. In fact, he can now see Flo. He almost got crashed by, I think, Zyno, who is in the lead on the Yeka. But Flo is 30 meters ahead only. Jeromu is gonna be going for the wall ride. AMW on battery is not with the best handling, as you can see right here. And it's not gonna be a big gain ultimately, but he can still get some kind of a shooting weapon, using which he can get Flo, or just pray for final turn shenanigans, because there's quite a few cars in that group ahead. Flo, Inigo, and Matty. Matty is gonna get zapped. Jeromu goes around Matty. Can Jeromu make the final turn? He's gonna be slow up the ramp, but he's gonna make it.
Oh my god, what a finish that was. Matty in a surprising turn of events, getting eliminated. And yeah, we did see that 3-car pack up ahead that Jeromu was closing distance on for a while there. Jeromu, our top racer in the division, almost getting eliminated in race number 2. That would have been a massive point hit for him in the overall point standings, but he is doing quite well for himself, don't get me wrong. And something interesting was that Shockwave. I actually think his idea was that he was so far behind at that point, he was going to cycle anyways, and it's better to just hit anybody than to hit nobody. There is some kind of strange series of events where second place could end up there as a result of getting hit with that one Shockwave. It could end up getting like a domino effect off of that. So I do think it was a bit strange, but that was my idea of his logic behind it.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. And I also think I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that he's using the AMW because he is already with a 22-point lead, so he can afford to lose some points.
Yeah. Yeah, but we are going to be headed to Titanic 2.
I also saw you mention that he's tired in the chats of the league, so that could also be effective.
Well, we are loaded into Titanic 2, pretty much the exact same as Titanic 1, just a different starting space and some rocking effects. So they are going to be headed straight into the captain's quarters right away. Zyno getting flipped.
And Jeromu is starting from the back, so it's not gonna be easy. Again, another fairly top speed based track, and someone missed the start there. Did you see who that was?
Tom Dom, Jeromu also missing the star, 50 meters behind Zyno. That wasn't too productive of a star for either of them. It hasn't been used yet, so we'll see, but yikes.
It's better for Jeromu to save it at the moment because he's not getting shot. And he could benefit from other people killing each other, while he could save the start for later, and then he could gain an advantage with that. Also, I'd like to mention that he was gonna go for a pickup, but there wasn't anybody. Still used the start, and he's now gonna get zapped. But I was gonna mention that the AMW has quite a bit of understeer, especially at lower speeds, I think. Which is why he had a hard time getting that start. It's right turning in, but the car just wasn't turning.
Right.
And now he's getting some luck because the chaos ahead has caught up to Olmo. And Olmo is in the back with a bomb. William going for the start, thinking it might still be there.
Yikes. Yeah, some crazy driving decisions all around. Bomb goes off up ahead. Nobody going to be affected too dearly by it. William getting hit by a shockwave. He's within rocket range by Olmo. Olmo wrecks. And Olmo falls back to 50 meters. Now, again, the reason why we are watching the back is because this is a knockout, so that whoever comes in last will be eliminated from the race. We'll have no chance at getting more points. And yeah, I thought that was so interesting. Jeromu going for the flex play, getting that pickup, and then it wasn't there. We will have to hold on to that for a bit because Roddick has wrecked, almost shooting the rockets. Roddick has to repo.
Oh, that's a big loss again. But we've seen Olmo fall back too, so... And it's only lap 3 out of 4. And remember, this is the first part of the track, because this is Titanic 2, and also Roddick is with the battery now. William is with the bomb ahead. William is gonna blow up, not have a lucky landing. I think he hit the legs of the chair there.
Yeah, so William now in that 8th place position. Roddick is quite a ways away from Olmo, 50 meters, so William is just going to be catching Roddick. Roddick can't be feeling too secure in this position. Shockwave gonna be shot backwards, hit both of them. Ooh. Oh,
yeah, and it's
there it is.
Jeromu ahead of them again, but the two of them seem to be busy with fighting each other, and Roddick now goes for the pickup. Oh, there's someone right ahead. That is Jeromu. And Roddick is gonna run into an oil. Fairly lucky landing.
Yeah.
But he still lost some time. And William, or is that it's Jeromu running away with the battery, climbing the wall, I think.
You can go in Spider-Man for a second there. William only had a bowling ball. We'll see if this is an alliance, if this is, you know, a peace moment, or if they're going to hit each other. The bowling ball comes out. William, is he going to hit? Because if he hits Jeromu here, this could have serious implications. He doesn't seem to be going for it though, and
the bomb is not gonna explode, but Jeromu hits the wall and Roddick is coming. Roddick is with the rocket as well, but that's not gonna matter because Roddick manages to cross the line regardless, and Jeromu is out.
Wow, yeah, Jeromu eliminated. Now, it was looking scary for him early on in the race, but it looked like he had escaped. I mean, I was even going to mention earlier how Jeromu was in a perfectly fine position after all that had transpired, but he got brought back in, roped back in, and yeah, Jeromu eliminated over Roddick after he fails the diagonal jump. So we'll see our next track be headed straight in. All the AMWs have been eliminated at this point, unfortunately, and the track is Supermarket 1.
Wow. So I think that out of 4 tracks, 3 pure chaos. Because Museum 1, Toys in the Hood 1, and now Supermarket 1. For different reasons, of course. Hood 1 mainly for the oncoming traffic section. And the same is true for Museum 1, but it's also tied. So I think that section would be chaotic regardless. And Market 1 is like the tightest track of the whole game. Apart from maybe like Toilet or it's somewhere close. So this is gonna be chaotic. Tom Dom takes the lead into the first turn. Flo is in the back. Someone went for the repo.
Yeah,
that's Zino.
Yeah.
That's a bit risky in a knockout because you repo a bit too far ahead and you're basically out because you have to go back. And at that point, you lose 50 meters, maybe even 100. It's not for knockouts. I know he's still doing it, I think. So that's cool. Good for him. And you get all in the back though. Oh, both of them sliding out in very similar ways there.
Roddick did get hit by the oil as well though at the cashier booth. So it looks to be a 3-way battle.
Yeah, and William isn't that far already. It's still very much not done. The two of them will be fighting here though. And Roddick will be running into that fake. So now, Olmo is up to 5th, Roddick down to 6th, and Inigo will be able to attack and capitalize on those mistakes, almost getting hit by his own rocket. Getting another pickup, another rocket that's gonna be hitting Roddick, and he hits him twice, and he still has 1 rocket to go as far as I'm concerned. And he is now up to 6, but Roddick is not far back, and it's lap 3 out of 4.
Yeah, they seem to have been doing about the same on the ramp. Now Roddick has opted out of the shortcut, but then accidentally opted back into the shortcut. A wreck into falling down to that lower level. And after the U-turns come out, he's got a battery by the looks of things, so that's going to help him quite a lot in this 1v1 against Inigo. They both 50 meters away. Shockwave responded to by rockets, and they're neck and neck.
And they are heading into the final lap. It's Roddick versus Inigo. There's a bit of push involved there. Roddick with a shockwave. It's gonna hurt Inigo a bit. Inigo will not be going for a cut. It looked like he was gonna go for it. Roddick with a crash now. So Roddick is in the back again. There's a ball. They both avoided. It's very much to the inside. There's an oil though. And Roddick runs into that. Reposition was really not necessary. It looked like that to me at least.
Well,
William missed the race, but that's not important. The final place is important, and Inigo will be able to cross the line soon, I think. Unless he crashes out in the final turn, but he doesn't. And Roddick will be finishing last and gets eliminated.
Roddick could have just driven on the side. I mean, he had a good amount of time to see that oil, but he did still hit it, and like you said, kind of panicked repoed after it as well. So yeah, he does get eliminated, but Inigo was in a pretty dangerous position. We'll see if he's able to recover from that as we head into the next one. I am spinning Museum 2.
Why are you spinning, Tom?
Spinala.
Museum 2. So, Museum 2 will also be chaotic, I think. Because another tight track with a shortcut where you could place oils, or you can place oils all over the track and other players will not be able to see them. Zaps will be coming out in the first few turns, I think. At least that's a prediction I have based on the previous, the Division 1 race from Museum 2.
Yeah, you're so right. I'd say the two most iconic parts of this track are all those dark rooms to lay the oils in, as well as the shortcut. A lot of racers choosing to not even go for that shortcut at all, and William Adama on the Panga, and he's ready. But he's not in this division, right? I think he's spectating.
He is in this division.
He is in this division. Okay. That's right. I got totally thrown off. I was thinking, because we haven't seen Panga at all. You can swap cars. So he is going to opt to go with the Panga. I mean, literally threw me off so much that I questioned if he's even in the division. But, I mean, all eyes are going to be on the Panga as we head into this one.
And he is falling to the back already. Let's see how he fares from now on, though, because there's going to be chaos ahead. And he is the one who gets the shockwave and gets almost back to the front. Oh, that's a big car. There's barely any space around it. He could be using it for blocking. Although, oh, Olmo can just go the other way around here. TomTom is still 30 meters behind. TomTom had some issues there.
Oh, Zyno taking a shortcut with the bomb on his back, and Zap comes out as well. William gonna dodge it, passing up TomTom for the moment. Star has not been taken. Olmo, everyone's gonna hit this oil. Ooh,
oh, TomTom is coming back from last. And William flying away with that Panga, but Inigo is behind again, who also had some bad luck on that oil. And it's left 2 out of 4 now. It's not much into the race. Panga on pace gets easily beaten by Yeka. And he gets shot and gets a bomb. So this is gonna be very unlucky for him. TomTom ahead. It's not gonna be close enough to pass him the bomb, I think. Yeah, TomTom won't fall that far back. So William will be blowing up, has a decent flip.
And William either hit a bomb or hit a fake. Well, he's got another bomb. The Star has still not been taken. We're on lap 2-4, headed to lap 3. And yeah, William has been so quiet in this race. And being quiet is a good thing. Like, if you're not on our radar, that's a good thing, because it means you're not near the back. I don't think he's been near the back at all until he switched to this Panga with 6 people left, and now he's in the back, 100 meters behind William. What's going on, man?
Yeah, and it's especially a bad choice with less people, because there's gonna be less people shooting each other, less time loss. And oh, he now has a battery. Gonna be exciting to see how he jumps. Can he land it though? And no, I think this is leading further and further into his demise.
Oh no!
Unconventional car choices are not the best idea in a stock pro session, especially switching to them like this. And Flo is in the league standings. Flo is 13 points behind. Flo is still in this lobby. In fact, he's gonna win the race right now. So
yeah,
that Flo could gain 5 points on William if he wins this session. And Jerome's out. Jerome, one of the biggest contenders. So it's Flo and Zyno who have been doing really strong today.
Yes. Yes, and we are watching William's final moments here. Chat has been popping off, and I know we had a William fan in the chat. So unfortunate to see that William has been eliminated so shortly after But he did, I mean, he took a risk on that Panga, and respect, but at the same time, wow. Getting punished quite hard for it. Flo and Zyno, like you mentioned, and we saw Zyno so far ahead on Toys in the Hood 1, you would think that it was like a 10-lap race. That's how ahead he seemed by the end of the 4 laps on Toys in the Hood 1.
Yeah, if we were to give points for these races, Zyno would have 81 and Flo would have 71.
Okay.
William would be in third, so that's an unfortunate demise for him. And TomTom would be in fourth, but TomTom would have 59, Flo would have 71, Zyno would have 81. So Zyno has been really strong here. Based on this, wins of course boost this point, but of course these points don't actually count. It's a knockout section. I'm just bringing them up because it's good to compare their performances. Yeah,
absolutely. And it's also important to note that well, let me pull up the overall point standings before I make those comments, but just some initial comments is that I believe Zyno, Flo, Almo, and TomTom are all quite close points wise, like very close. I'm pulling up the data to support that right now.
Zyno is 18 points ahead of Almo.
Okay.
And there's like 4 people or 3 people between them.
But we do have Flo, TomTom, and Zyno. Zyno at 94 points, TomTom at 98 points, Flo at 101 points. So they are all 3. Also important to note that that's 3rd, 4th, 5th. So promotion potentially on the line. Only the top 4 can go. So whoever gets that 5th place spot.
I mean, we can have abandoned naturalizing. But
well,
Flo with the bomb bouncing into Zyno. Wow. So that's already a chaotic start, and the 2 of them are at the back. We have talked about how well they have been performing. Supermarket 2 is a track where RNG is a big factor. We'll see how they fare with the ice. Zyno crossing it well. Inigo crashing out, and now he'll be falling into the grasp of Almo. They will be fighting to not be in that last position.
Yeah.
Because being in last is potential elimination. Especially if you finish there, that is elimination. And Almo is gonna be pressing Inigo on the ice. The rocket won't be hitting him. That is hyping between those 2 players. I believe Almo is from Poland and Inigo is from somewhere in South America. Inigo is from Spain.
Yeah,
wow, okay.
Our one Spanish player that I'm aware of, but does have that same language shared with a lot of the South American players, of course, with the exception of Brazil. Gonna be shooting the water balloons, hitting Almo. Sees the oil though, and how are they going to adapt to this? Inigo going pretty well, Almo about the same.
Inigo did that wonderfully. He saw the oil, went for the outside more grippy eyes because the middle is the most slippery part. There's a tight pass on the inside where the oil was, but now he will be getting shot with a shockwave by Almo. He will be hitting him back. And now Inigo is ahead by 20 meters. Also, I was wrong about the ping as well, because they're both from Europe. But 3 water balloons, Almo will be getting rid of that. It could have been useful, but let's see if we can get something better. He's not cycling at the moment, so I'm assuming he does. But it's 50 meters between the 2 of them. It is a battery, and he's using it as soon as they exit the ice. He can get the next pickup. What does Inigo have? Almo will be hitting the door. But Inigo crashes in the final turn by himself. And now he'll be trying to shoot with rockets again. Almo had a post of issues at the ice.
Wow. Oh, Almo. It was so strange to see those rockets not locking on. But either way, it does get turned into the very final last ice U-turn-ish thing. Like you mentioned, they both handled the oil that came up in that area quite well, very, very well. But Almo seemed to respond the next lap as if the oil was still there. It was kind of irrelevant because Inigo hit him with the rocket, but he might have been able to get around that corner if he just, you know, drove in that diagonal. It could have been his downfall. At the end, it really was neck and neck. It could have been anyone's elimination there. Today, it was Almo. We are spinning the wheel, and Rooftops looks to be our next track.
Oh, interesting with 4 players. That could be spread out after a while, we'll see.
Oh yeah.
And we'll add that I think it was just a regular mistake in the ice section, which they actually both made. But I believe it was Inigo who survived it better, or was it Olmo? I'm not even sure. But there were so many position changes in that final lap.
Yeah, I was talking about like lap 4, but yeah, that last lap really was just anyone's race. Almo got 2 batteries, which is an important note. Now, he didn't get the full use out of the one that he used near the sliding door because he ran into the sliding door. But then Inigo wrecked as well. That's an area where I've definitely wrecked on before on Supermarket, but yeah, it hurts.
Zyno leading the pack here again. He's been really strong today. Again, he would have the most points if these were point-based races. Out of the surviving 4, Inigo would have the least by a long shot. And he now crashes out. Was it a weapon
Inigo
or crashed by himself?
Eating that bowling ball, but Zyno failed the jump, hitting one of those little contraptions that are poking out of the ground near that helipad.
Inigo almost hit another ball there.
I don't know who laid that first ball, but man, it caused Inigo to do a full flip over. It was perfectly laid. And somebody jumped straight up to take that pickup by the looks of it. We had Stingox do a similar thing in Division 1, which we questioned. Double oil coming out.
Oh,
this is
Zyno is gonna be flipping over the first oil. I think he
Oh.
flipped in turn 1 on the wall, and he survived that oil by just being upside down when he was on it.
Wow.
And his wheels never touched it.
Yeah.
And he's now up to second from that. He's getting shot with water balloons. But Flo will be getting a new pickup here, so he might be having another attack on Zyno. The 2 of them are 40 meters from the elimination zone, so they could be just playing it safe. I don't think Flo will be doing that. At least the target will be threatening for Zyno for sure.
Yeah.
Who did shoot some water balloons right now, I think.
And
Oh, what a shot, but it couldn't quite hit Tom Dom.
And Zyno, I believe, threw that other one. It was a little bit too high up in the air. Zyno failing that jump again. And, you know, rooftops with 4 people left, knockout race, that's not an area that you want to fail because, like you said, there's big potential for gaps to form, like irrecoverable distance gaps, except by battery, which requires RNG by the person in the back. And oils have been coming out like crazy. They have been quiet for a while. Inigo maybe ran into it. I don't know. He seemed to lose control of his car there regardless. 75 meters behind Zyno. Cycling.
Yeah, there's not a great chance, I think, by Inigo here, but it is only 20 meters separating the top 3. I mean, 1 by 1. Domdom is now 30 ahead after Flo makes a mistake. But I don't think they will be shooting each other. It looks like they are running peacefully at the moment.
It makes
They
sense.
have no reason to attack each other because Inigo is 80 meters behind and they could only lose from these positions. Domdom shooting some rockets as a celebration of his win.
Yeah.
Flo flying over those high wires.
So we do already have our podium. This session has been longer than Division 1, but man, these knockout sessions really fly by with 1 person eliminated each. It would be cool to see maybe 2 lives. Like we keep track, they like lose a life and they're still in, and once they lose their 2nd life, then they're out. But something for the future, of course. But this session is really just flying by. We already are in our podium, which is Tom Dom, Flo, and Zyno. And the map is Toy World 1.
Okay. So who rigged the wheel? Cause like this feels like the most RNG based track out of the whole list. Like,
yeah.
Okay. That wasn't really a full sentence. Also, I see Jeremy mentioned that he decided to play AMW because he was inspired by Tova's previous weird car choices.
Cool.
And he almost was able to carry it a bit further than he did, I think. He fought well on it. He did get a 4th place in the first race.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly like you mentioned. Like, stock pros is a difficult place to be like, I'm gonna stand out, because I mean, there's like a pretty big gap between the cars. Whereas a lot of these custom car sessions, the cars have been curated a bit more. Well, I mean, stock pro can't be curated at all. Basically, it's just like, do you want Panga in or not? Is usually the extent of the curation process for stock pros. We are headed into the race though. Let me make sure that we're actually on the race. Yes, we are. Tom Dom in the back row, Zyno and Flo on the front.
Yeah, and I think all 3 of them could be getting pickups here. It didn't look like Tom Dom hit it on our screen, but it most probably did get a pickup. So who will be getting what kind of a pickup? They are not using it. None of them are using pickups at the moment. Tom Dom looked like he gained a bit of Flo there. Flo with the zap, Tom Dom with the water balloons, Zyno with the big gap.
And he's gonna get shocked twice if he's not careful. Flo loses control slightly though.
Yeah, and he's now in the back. And again, they're both getting pickups. Flo with balloons, Tom Dom with rockets. None of them hit the other. In fact, Tom Dom shut them away. Like, they were nothing when Flo was behind him. He won something else clearly, and the ball, which he got, worked very well to his advantage. It was worth cycling for him, because he got something he could shoot backwards. And now he's also at a comfortable-ish 40 meters. But it's only lap 3 out of 7, a single battery for Flo. And he's right up there next to Tom Dom.
Cycling for a ball is not only a sentence that I've never said before, I've never even thought it or even considered it even slightly. I think of bowling ball or ball bearing, whatever it is, as pretty much just a complete dud. And they're getting dud after dud after dud. Tom Dom does blow up with the bomb, but they're actually, what I was getting to is they're actually making use of these bowling balls, which is pretty crazy to see. They are both cycling 20 meters. Tom Dom is in view. Water balloon's not gonna hit.
Oh, it's almost gonna bounce in Tom Dom's direction at least. He could have got hit with that. That would have been really interesting to see. Water balloons can be played with like that. Although there's not a guarantee. Flo is using it here at the battery. Why is he using that right there? He's gonna survive the bridge though. And he's ahead. He's gonna survive the shockwave as well. And Tom Dom is now behind. They are in a fight. They are gonna be heading into the final lap here. Tom Dom with the balloons, which are gonna hit Flo, who is gonna spin. But the shockwave hits Tom Dom, and Flo is back ahead. They are in the final lap. There's like 15 seconds left of this race. They're both gonna get pickups again.
Are they?
It's gonna be the final pickup that's gonna decide this race. Tom Dom is getting water balloons again, I guess. And he's not happy with them, probably. And Flo is gonna be finishing the race soon.
The stress. And in my opinion, Flo even made a mistake. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think on lap 6 of 7, Flo shot a shockwave at Tom Dom on a complete straight, or it might have been Tom Dom on Flo. I could have been misremembering because there was a lot that happened there on those last 2 laps. But shooting a shockwave on a straight is something that's brought up a lot. It can be useful, but especially when the car is at a good speed, going in a straight line, it could be saved. There was that corner, or not the corner, there was the right turn towards the dinosaur right, and he could have like done a curved shockwave using the wall, possibly something like that. It might have been a bit better than just shooting it on a straight, but the pressure is on for these racers. The final two, Zyno versus Flo.
Honestly, well deserved for both of them based on their overall performance. I mean, I'm saying this based on points, but also the reason they are here is they didn't get last, and that was the goal. So maybe TomTom just wasn't playing to win races. So, but we will be racing another Titanic track. Honestly, this could be really exciting. Could be really spread out.
Yeah.
It's a wide track with long straights. I don't disagree. I think it could be anticlimactic, but it's not necessarily. We'll see. We'll see. It's gonna be our final regardless, because it is rolled now.
And if I can just say, yeah, go ahead.
This will be a constant roll for battery.
Yes. We will be seeing a lot of cycling for the battery. Titanic, such a good place for a battery to come out. So in that same vein, we could see a lot of bombs coming out as well. It just depends on what they roll. Titanic 1 is beginning, and we actually saw a lot of sportsmanship in the discussion. Which is something that often doesn't happen. I mean, when tensions are so high. But nice to see some GLHFs coming out. Zyno gets the bomb, slows down to hit Flo. It looked like it was a guaranteed hit with that jump nearby. But Flo able to just barely squeak by.
Yes, Zyno
start.
trying to go for that smart move there, but ultimately it was quite risky, and he's now gonna crash further. He's gonna be the one who has to cycle for batteries. Did Flo take the star though? No, it's right there. Zyno noticed it late, I think, but the star is still there. Is Zyno gonna get a battery? He's technically in last position. So he should have a decent chance, I think. But that's water balloons, which is not what he needs. The star is also gonna help him. So it's very much not done. It's gonna be a long strategical fight at this point. And cycling fight basically.
Right.
Let's see which of them can get batteries. I know going for the safer wall ride route.
Now I have a question for you. Do you think Flo cycles or does he just sit? Because I mean he has two options here. In the first option, if he cycles, there's a possibility he hits a bomb, right? And that hurts him. But then, just like I was going to say, if he doesn't cycle, Zyno can come up with the battery and close the gap quite quickly. Having some issues though.
So I think it's better to cycle, as a bomb can get quite a bit of your lead, but it's not a great chance. And also you could get a zap, could get a battery, both of which will be really helpful for you. So right. I think overall you could get better off with cycling. But Zyno is still closing in on Flo as far as I can tell. Maybe a bit. But now with the bomb. It's gonna be getting a pickup here. Is the star still there? The star is still there. Zyno having to turn around, not gonna be very lucky with that. It's gonna explode. It's gonna be no, very unlucky. Okay, now he has to really put everything together. He has to be really head down, and has to really put his head down. It's 160 meters. He gets a battery. I think he could possibly still get one or two, and that could put him within range. The star is still there. I don't know why they're not taking it. It's water balloons this time. There's no pickups here. It's 110 meters. The star is not gonna be enough for this. He needs another battery or two. Probably two. This could be one. Is it gonna be a battery? No, it's a ball. He's gonna be cycling for another one. 100 meters. The star is still there. That's a fake. He's gonna be avoiding it. He's using his battery. The star was not taken in the race.
He does
on
it
Titanic.
again. Oh, okay.
And he's gonna flip, and it's gonna be the end of the race.
I'll be honest. I feel like Zyno lost his cool there a bit around lap 2 or so. Had some areas that I think he could have done a bit better on with that battery usage, for example. But at the end of the day, Zyno made it